Hello. Is there anybody out there? Well, I hope if you're already watching that you are having a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon. Welcome to Hi, I Want Your Soul. Man, you were quick. That's great, though. Just waiting for Dark Somnium to arrive. Just going to talk to you guys for a little bit now. I know this is earlier than usual, but I think we'll be alternating between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, so keep an eye out on my Twitter to see which one it'll be. But this Friday night, it's 5:30. Hi, Corrupted Playground! Glad that you happen to be on. Hi, Marcos. Welcome. Okay, I have already tweeted this out. I was prepared. You know, I have to say, guys, if you are on Twitter, Bidip, hi! It's so nice to see you. I know work kind of eats you away from us. I don't know why I said eats you away from us, but yeah. Hi, Sophie. Welcome. What's up, Ice Wolf Man? Welcome. So what I was going to say about Twitter is I noticed that they have the 280 characters now, but it's only, I guess, for certain things, if that makes any sense. Hi, Dark Somnium.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, I can hear you. I love the new logo, by the way. Can you hear me?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay,
My mic
awesome.
died.
No worries. No
All
worries.
right. What'd you say?
Oh, no, I was just saying I love the new logo.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Let's see. I
very
actually made
snazzy.
like two with it. Huh?
I said it's very snazzy.
Oh. I made two within the last few days. Is it like the black and white one or the colorful one?
It's the colorful one. I just like that symbol. It's
Oh,
very
cool.
cool. Yeah, I mean, they both have the same symbol, right? It's just one's colorful and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I just love that symbol.
Thank you. Do you want to know where it came from?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the questions.
Sweet. Oh, okay. Well,
Let's just
I'm
dive
gonna.
right in, I guess.
Yes. Question time. Well, so I don't really know how well you can see the symbol on this, but when I first made my channel was originally called Ronnie Reads, uh, and my symbol was two R's. And I like to get artsy with things, so I was drawing it, and I had just two R's next to each other. And then I had an idea to make it so that one of the R's was reversed, so they were like back to back. But
Mhm.
then I actually messed up when I was trying to resize it, and I resized it horizontally, or not horizontally, vertically, up and down, whichever. I resized it up, like made it really tall by accident,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, "Hey, that looks kind of cool." So if you look at my image, it's actually just two R's that are like stretched way up high. If you like turn it sideways, you can see like mainly what you're seeing is like the legs of the R, and then the top part it gets really small because it's stretched upward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah,
So
then huh?
I was gonna ask, what made you drift away from this particular design then? Since I mean, you kind of started off with something similar like this, and then you had something totally different, and now you're kind of back to this.
Well, because throughout the time that I've had my YouTube channel, I've been slightly conflicted about which direction I want to go with it.
Mhm.
Because when I first started my YouTube channel, it was originally supposed to be for not necessarily because I was planning on doing horror story readings. That's
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I started it. But I didn't necessarily want to be just like um, a random entity. Like I wanted people. I kind of wanted it to be like people liked the personality on my channel. So like people knew me, and then they would come to my channel and then like just see what kind of what content I make. I didn't necessarily start the channel to be like Mr. Creepypasta or like any of the other narrators that have
So
like an identity. Huh?
you wanted it to be mostly just your creative outlet and for everybody else to see your creativity, whether it be with the pastas or with your music creation, etc. That's what it sounds
Right.
like, correct?
Right. But then like that's why it was originally Ronnie Reads, because I didn't really care
Uh,
about people knowing my name and I wanted it to be more personal. But then I was like, well, I'm probably only going to read scary stories because that's what I'm interested in. So then I came up with the Dark Somnium uh, as like an entity thing. But then I've kind of been conflicted about like whether I want it to be more personal or just be the Dark Somnium, and so that's why I've kind of been switching with the logos.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. So I know that you were very eager to share your origin story with us.
Well, I wasn't eager. I just said it was. Um, no, but it's so it's kind of if anybody has like watched my channel for a while, then they probably already know why I started my channel because I kind of do talk about it a lot. But when I was younger and first got into music, it was originally because of my grandma, because I had like issues like dealing with my emotions essentially, and so my grandma was like, "Hey, you should channel your emotions into something constructive." It's kind of like advice. Like if you don't find something constructive to do, you'll end up finding a destructive outlet, like a lot of people do. So I found actually like she had this keyboard here that she would let me play on, and so I started writing music, and that became an outlet for my emotions. And then over time, I got more and more invested into music, and I've always liked horror. I just always since I was a kid, and when I started listening to people on YouTube that were reading stories, I noticed that they all essentially used the same music, which isn't a bad thing because it's awesome music. It was either Miyagi or the music from, sorry, or the music from the Silent Hill video game. And so I thought, hey, I write music. Maybe I can offer to write music for some of these people so like they can kind of have more unique music because everyone's just using the same songs. And so I emailed like 15 YouTubers like Unit 522, Mr. Nightmare, a bunch of other people, and only one of them responded. It was this one YouTuber called Joey's Nightmare. And so I made him a theme song and I emailed it to him and I never heard back from him. So
Oh,
yeah, so um I was like, well, all right, that kind of sucks because I spent time on that. But then I was like, I could just make my own channel and then write music. So like the creation of my channel kind of came out of just nobody like wanting to use my music. And it's kind of funny because since I started my channel, most of those people have used my music and we've worked together. But um,
that's a fun feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean, I
uh,
know it's kind of selfish, but I'm kind of glad they didn't use you because you're just so talented with creating your narrating your own narrating your own stories and then just adding not only the music but also the sound effects.
oh, thank you. Yeah, that's something else that I really enjoy is doing that and getting to add the sound effects because I feel like it makes it more immersive, um, which some people do, but I don't really think any other narrators, except no, I actually, Dr. Creepin writes music too. So I
Hmm.
think he's the only other one I know of that writes their own songs for the stories they read.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen your creation process through your live streams, and I mean, you're very particular with how you want things to sound and everything. So you're involved, like very few other narrators are involved with their creation process in their videos, and it really shows your dedication.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I think that's just I don't really think I'm a perfectionist as per se, but there are certain things that if I don't fix, I'm pretty like most people might not notice, but I'll notice it, and then that'll bug me. For example, I'm actually working on a new series that's going to go out tonight. It's called the Dark Radio Podcast,
Uh-huh.
and it's related to true scary stories or paranormal stuff. Like it's not going to be fiction. So the first one is about EVP recordings. So I have a bunch of EV like paranormal recordings that I'm going over and listening to and stuff. And then I also go back and uh, try to isolate whatever is in the audio that we're listening to and clean it up and make it more understandable and intelligible.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and so that's something I've been doing. I actually have been working on it most of today. I've been working on just this one 5-second audio clip for the
Oh,
last six
wow.
hours. Yeah, for the last 6 hours, trying to make it so that the part of it is understandable and you can hear it and stuff.
Yeah, see, there goes your dedication showing again. Now, let's go back a little bit to the name because you were first Ronnie Reeds. What made you settle on Dark Somnium?
So I have I really like, I don't know why, but I really like Latin, and I really like the concept, not the concept. I really like the what is it? I don't really know what the word I'm looking for is. I like dreaming, like just what dreams are and what you can experience through dreams. Um, and I'm fascinated with both those things, and so somnium is Latin for dreams, and so the other, you could call my channel Dark Dreams, but that's actually this what I was thinking of before after I was going to change it from Ronnie Reed's. I was like, I was going to name it Dark Dreams, but then I was like, actually, I wonder what dreams is in Latin. So I looked it up and I was like, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds, I mean, I think it sounds cooler than the word dream. So when I first saw that, I knew Latin. It was Latin because, I took a little bit of Latin in high school. So, I mean, I was definitely intrigued just with your channel name alone. I know like a couple of days ago, or maybe it was last week, you had a post about how you might have to change your name. Do you
Mhm.
mind sharing what that was about?
Yeah, there's an I kind of found this out after I started my channel. I kind of felt like a dick, but I don't anymore because they're dicks. There's this German band called Dark Somnium, and they have like 3 songs on YouTube.
Hmm.
I didn't know about them until after I made my channel, and then
Uh-huh.
I like when I was searching for my channel once I saw them, and I was like, oh, I feel kind of bad because I stole their name. But now I don't know if they show up anymore. I think you'll mostly see my videos if you type in Dark Somnium. But they emailed me last week saying that they were like they were gonna make me take down my channel and change my name and stuff. And so I made that out of like I made that post out of frustration before I looked too far into it. But then I don't know why I didn't realize this, but I was like, wait, I registered the trademark for the name Dark Somnium in the United States. They're in Germany. So I was like, yeah, that doesn't even matter. So
Yeah, exactly. Wow, you trademarked your name already?
yeah, I did. I have a company that I started for a production company that I started for my music called Sonatas Studios, and Sonatas is Latin for sound.
Hmm.
And it's underneath that as a Sonatas Studios is a parent company, and so
Yeah.
I have that
See, that's
trademark.
that's definitely smart, and I think that was something that kind of came up a couple of days ago because there was another person who used to be a narrator that started selling merchandise with the characters or logos of other channels, and it definitely for me brought up the whole matter of trademarking your name and your image basically, because if
Right.
not, anybody else can just step in and say, hey, this is mine, stop using it. So it's
Yeah.
definitely very important, so especially for the bigger channels and the growing channels to keep that in mind, that there is kind of a legal sense or a legal side to all of this, as it was good that you were proactive in this because now you have no reason to worry about that.
Yeah, yeah. Real quick, if I may interject, one of your people in the chat
Uh-huh.
had a question. Is it cool if I answer that?
Sure. No, go ahead.
It
Definitely.
was a corrupted playground. They said, "Where is a cheaper but reliable place to get trademarks and copyrights?" So, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm like not 100% sure if this is right, and don't take legal advice from me. But from what I understand, you don't go like if you go somewhere, you're essentially hiring a lawyer because trademarks and copyrights are legal things, and you do it with
Hmm.
the state. So, like my company, Sonatas Studios and the Dark Somnium, are trademarked out of Utah. They're licensed trademarks in Utah, and then that extends to the United States. So you can do it yourself by just registering the trademark or copyright with the state you live in. But if you go anywhere, if you're looking for someone to do it to or do it for you, you're essentially just hiring a lawyer. Hiring a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen the websites online. I think I found about a year ago, I think it was like $250 to do the process or something like that. So if you Google it, it'll come up as to how you
Or
can do it and
or it's
stuff.
$15 if you just do it yourself and fill out everything and do all the
Are you
paperwork.
serious?
Yeah, because it's fifteen
Okay.
dollars to do the paperwork for them.
Huh. Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about that after this stream. All right. That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's very important, especially for growing channels to go ahead and do that. Okay. So, do you have a favorite video you've narrated?
um, yes. Well, I have like two favorites. Um, one of them is Beyond the Blackout, and the other one is let's see, I know I'm gonna like think of more once I'm done with this. But the other one, so it's Beyond the Blackout, and then uh, the Blackwater by Decomposed.
What was the premise of the first one?
Beyond the
Is
Blackout,
it?
it's
Uh,
essentially it's about this guy who kind of has a drinking problem. Every time he drinks too much and blacks out, he wakes up in this kind of like uh, weird like fantasy imaginary land. And it's very like peaceful there and stuff. And so he uh, keeps on drinking because he wants to go back there. And but then like it starts to like get weird, like obviously turn into a horror story because it's horror.
mhm.
But yeah, it's really good. It's by Elias Withero.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, definitely a very good writer on that one. Do you have one that's disturbed you the most?
Yeah. Well, I don't get disturbed easily, aside from like sexual things. So the third parent and the porn fields are probably the ones that made me the most uncomfortable. Otherwise, I don't necessarily get disturbed by anything
Why the third parent?
because like the guy like feels up that little kid. It's weird.
Okay, so would you say that there really is no line for what you narrate?
Yeah, no, not really. There's unless it's like extremely sexually graphic. That's the only thing that makes me uncomfortable. And depending on what it is, I might not do it. But there's not as I haven't read a story yet that I was reluctant to, and I haven't seen a story yet that I'm like, no, that's too gross. I'm not going to read that.
Okay, I see. What are your future plans for your channel?
Well, so I'm planning on um working on more true scary story videos. Uh, I'm probably gonna do something where I switch off. Like one day it'll be a true scary story video, the next day it'll be a creepypasta or no sleep story, as well as the Dark Radio podcast, which I plan on making very like into a very big project. The first episode is essentially a pilot, so it's only about 10 minutes, but after that, each episode of the podcast will be about an hour long.
Okay, so definitely giving us plenty to listen to.
Yeah.
And with all the series that you've been coming out with, my God, you've kept me busy.
Yeah,
You're,
I've noticed. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry to say this, but you're probably one of the few narrators that's kept me busy. I feel like so many have gone quiet, and then there's you just putting out all these series, and it's just I've just been eating them up. Like honestly, I've just been binge watching all your content because of the fact that you're coming out with all these really cool stories.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it helps when because you're in one of them.
Like, well, you know what? I was watching before I was in it, okay? So
That's true. True that.
yeah, no, definitely a fan before I was ever in that series, but it's been a lot of fun to be part of it. But yeah, I do appreciate the fact that you're still putting out content pretty regularly. It helps me during my long work day.
Yeah. Once I, unfortunately, well, one of the reasons I'm putting out so many videos is because right now I'm technically or I'm jobless while I'm out here helping my grandfather. So
Hmm.
once I get back to working full time, that'll most likely impact how many videos I can make. But I'm hoping to at least get on a routine before that happens, so I can see if I can stick with that routine once I have a job.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, feeding ourselves comes first. It's kind of priority, but
Right.
it's always fun to have stories to listen to. What are some things that you feel set your channel apart from the rest of the community?
Um. Well, I would say obviously the music. Uh, and I do try to the way I read stories is a little bit different, I guess, than a lot of people. This isn't different from everybody because there are a fair amount of people that still do this. But whenever I read a story, I read it as if it's happening to me in that moment, rather than relaying events to someone. So that makes it so I can essentially read with more emotion. Um,
Yeah, it
the way
definitely makes it much more immersive.
Right, right. And then sometimes I will change stories if it fits because since I'm reading it, if like on some stories they'll say I've been writing this because such and such. Instead, I'll say I'm recording this. So to make it seem like it's happening to me in that moment.
Oh, okay. So you do change little things here and there with your stories. Okay, that's good to know.
Normally, I ask them first if they're okay with that. If not,
Hmm.
then I'll say writing. Um, but yeah, and that's pretty much the only thing I change is if it says like writing or if they're like type if they say writing or typing or something like that, then I'll change that to recording.
Gotcha. Okay. And I mean, that definitely works since, we do have the spoken medium instead of the written read.
Right.
Do you have a process to prepare for recording?
Um, no, but I probably should have one. Like, I didn't think about that actually until a few weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
when my friend, Ever So Creepy, he's another narrator. He was telling me his process for getting ready, and he was like saying, "All right," because we were working on a story together, and he was like, "All right, I need to do my process." So it's gonna be like 10 minutes because he was like gargling salt water and like doing like voodoo dances and stuff or whatever.
Voodoo
Um,
dances.
right.
Wow.
But I'm like, I just crawled out of bed and crawled over to this chair, and I'm ready to read. But then I was like, it probably actually would help if I had some sort of ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I don't even do vocal warm-ups, but I probably should. I just don't know how.
Yeah, I've been told that both tea and Googling a couple of vocal warm-ups would probably help me, but I'm like you who just, hey, let me sit down at the mic. Let's get right to it, you know?
Also, I this is a problem. I would say because there have been sometimes when I've read stories completely wrong because of this, but I have really really bad ADHD, so I lose focus and attention on things. If something doesn't keep my attention, then I don't I have problems finishing it. So when I'm every single video I've ever made, uh, that recording is the first time I'm reading that story aside from like maybe skimming a few lines prior to deciding if I want to read it. Because if I read a story in my head and like just like proofread it first, I'll lose interest in making the video because I've already read the story. So I don't pre-read stories. The first time I'm recording them is the first time I'm reading them.
Wow. Well, then you do very well for the first time reading them. Um,
That's a good thing and bad thing because I was like over time I've gotten better, but when I started, you could probably tell that I was just cold reading it right there. But I've gotten better at that now, so
okay. Since we're on the topic of that, what is something you wish to improve upon?
probably that because if I could like have the discipline, I guess, to read things beforehand, I would be able to decide like, oh, okay, so it's going in this direction, so I'll read it this way to help with that in transition or something. Like the story that I noticed that had a big impact on was the notes to the girl whose house I live in. That's kind of a sad story, but I didn't realize that until like I was over halfway done reading it. And up to that point, I'd been kind of like reading it like I was some sort of weird stalker. So I think it's still fine. It's not like a bad narration,
I
otherwise I
think
wouldn't
it
have posted it.
works because of the fact that you do have this setup of like, okay, well, this person is a stalker, and then in the end, you kind of have that turn, that twist, that hey, this is actually a sad tale, not what you were expecting, because you
Right.
set the tone for that. So I feel like it works.
Right. It's yeah, it still works. But if I had read it beforehand, I probably would have just read the story a little bit differently. But other than that, I would like to improve my audio quality. The microphone I'm using cost 14.99 at Walmart. And
Oh,
I have to do so much stuff to make it sound good, like make it sound good. Uh most of like let's say I make a 30-minute video, probably an
mhm.
hour of that is recording, and then an hour of that is making the music and doing sound effects. Then 4 hours of that is audio is editing the like improving the sound quality. Because like right now at this moment I'm running my voice through 15 filters before it's coming to your stream.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, just so it doesn't sound like ass.
But see, that's the amazing thing about, your set of skills is that you know what to do with the sound to make it sound like quality. Because I know, when, I don't know, what, 6 months ago, you were recording with what I thought was a top of the line mic, and then things changed for you, but now you still have this amazing sound quality no matter where you're recording. Whereas most of us in the community, I feel like would have no idea how to make our 14.99 mics sound like, the $500 mic that some other people have.
Well, thank you. I do want to get a nicer microphone because A, then that would save me time so I don't have to do all this stuff, and
Mhm.
B, it would sound even better. So,
Yeah, no, I can understand how it would be tedious to have to go through the audio and do things that you wouldn't have to do if you just had a better quality. And I hope you do get to have that soon, honestly. Is there a dream collaboration you would like to see happen?
They kind of it used to be. I don't necessarily mean this in a bad way because uh, I don't like really talking rude about people, but uh, I really wanted to work with Mr. Creepypasta, and
Uh-huh.
me and him were talking. We were gonna do a story called "Have you ever heard of a Chrome Sunset?" We were gonna do that together. I recorded my lines, sent him the ones he was gonna do. He sent me back like a file that didn't open, and it was only like 3 megabytes. So I assumed it was only like some of the lines. And then he stopped replying to my emails, and so it kind of hurt
Oh.
my feelings because I put a lot of time into getting ready for that, and I was really looking forward to it. And he
Mhm.
hasn't talked to me since, and that was like 2 months ago. So
Oh,
uh, I used to like have a like dream collaboration, but now I'm kind of like, I've
gotcha.
not really anymore. So,
So nobody other than him that you would like to work with in the
um,
community?
no, because well, do you mean like specifically like maybe people I haven't worked with
Yeah,
or
exactly. People you haven't worked with that you kind of wish you would work with. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody with 2 million subs or anything like
right?
that. Just somebody that you wish you could work with.
Well, not really. Everybody that I'd want to work with, honestly, I already have actually.
Oh,
Aside
that's
from,
awesome.
uh, yeah, like, and there's nothing to say, nothing rude against like Mr. Nightmare or Corpse Husband or Be Bust or anything like that. But they're cool. But it's not like I'm like dying to work with them. So,
Okay, gotcha. I appreciate the sincerity there. If you could meet any other narrator in the next 12 months, who would it be and why?
um, either my friend, my friend here that's also a YouTuber, ever so creepy because he's awesome. He was on the Beyond the Blackout with me, but or um uh, Unit 522 because me and him are doing a band. We're making an album together where we're doing like a
Ooh,
metal album where
awesome.
yeah, he's doing vocals and then I record and write the music. So it would be, but he lives in Florida and I live in, I don't know. I don't know if people know that. Probably shouldn't have said that. He lives somewhere else and I live in Utah.
And
So,
I think he's pretty much said that he lives in Florida before.
oh, okay, cool.
I
I
think
didn't want to like
pretty sure.
blow him
Out
up.
him.
Yeah, like, yeah, he lives at this address, but no. Uh, yeah, so since we're so far apart, we just have to send things to get across. But it'd be cool if we got to hang out in real life and actually like work on music together and stuff. So
Yeah, I heard he's actually a lot of fun to hang out with, and I've actually had a few narrators say that he's the person they want to hang out with. So
I
he
would
seems
like
to be
to
pretty popular.
I would like to meet Swamp Dweller so I can beat the shit out of him because he's a bitch. But other than that, no, I'm just joking.
Ooh, calling him out.
I hope he's in the chat so he can hear that. But yeah,
I I don't think so, but
damn,
I'll be sure to relay the message there, or somebody else will. I'm sure somebody will tell him. But
sweet.
yeah, I hear that those two hang out, so maybe you'll just kind of drop in on one of their hangouts.
Yeah, no, he was supposed to work with us on the project, but he's kind of been too busy, so he dropped out. But
Yeah, Swamp is definitely a busy man. In the face of all the issue of the content issues that YouTube has had lately, what keeps you motivated to continue on with your channel? Because I feel like a lot of other narrators have either lost their motivation for this or, kind of just fizzled out a little bit. So what keeps you going?
well, so that's kind of like where I was talking when I messaged you about that answer. I was like, it's kind of an emotional thing, but the reasoning for that is because the whole purpose of my YouTube channel stemmed from my uh, my love of horror and b my love of writing music, and my music is very important to me because my music is essentially how I deal with um, emotions because I'm not great at like I don't know how to handle certain emotions and stuff. So that's all I
Mhm.
do is when I'm upset or if I get depressed or something, I'll write music. Or if I'm mad or even if I'm happy, I'll write music because that's what I do with my emotions is I write music. So my music is essentially just my emotions. Like it's just you hearing my emotions and stuff. So uh, when I read stories and write music for them, I'm uh, putting a part of um, like how I feel about the story or what the
Uh-huh.
story makes me feel or how I'm like interpreting the characters or whatever into the story. And so it's the stories are not just oh this I'm going to read this, okay, cool, never talk about that again. Like every single video I've made is important to me, and I write or I do this because I really enjoy doing it. So I never did it for like ad revenue or anything like that. I never even thought I would make any money. But yeah, the thing that keeps me going and makes me want to keep doing it is the fact that it's connected to my music, and I'll never get tired of writing music. So I never get tired of making these videos.
So this is very much your outlet.
Right, right,
Okay. All right. That's, you know, I guess I could say the same thing. This is my creative outlet, and that keeps you motivated even in the face of, money going down if you were making money off of this. So it's
right.
definitely a very noble reason to keep going. Now, switching gears a little bit, have you had any crazy fans?
Uh, yeah, yeah, too. Um, there's one guy named uh I actually forget what his name was, but he would like this is back when I kind of first started, like a few months after I started. He would come to all my streams and stuff, and he was pretty cool. And then like one day, he just started getting weird, like hitting on me and stuff. And then uh,
Oh, wow.
because you guys have probably seen my streams. Like when I do streams, you can also see my face because I'm not
Uh-huh.
like I've
Yeah.
never been opposed of people seeing what I look like.
Yeah.
That's the other logo that I switched between this and was actually just a picture of me. So um what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So he was like, come on my streams. He's like, oh man, you're just hot. Yeah, I want in and around my mouth and stuff. Like, and I was like, whoa, whoa, calm down. I'm trying to write music, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he kind of wouldn't stop. And then, problem with I guess being so public about who I am is people can find my Facebook. So he like
Oh,
found my Facebook and stuff, and then started like talking to my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, all right,
oh
cool. And so
no.
yeah, so I had to make then so I made it so that my Facebook, my personal Facebook and stuff like that's private, so people
Yeah.
can't even if they find it, they can't see my friends or anything. Um, but
Gotcha.
yeah, then there was this one girl a few weeks ago who kind of did the exact same thing, but um, uh, yeah. So those are the only two,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. That this is why we don't show our faces.
except me. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
I mean, like when I started the channel, I was like, if people can see my face, then what if they find me and give me a cake with a bomb in it? And I was like,
No,
I'll
it's not the
accept that
cake with a
risk.
bomb. They want something else.
It's
No,
like,
what was it? I think in the last stream when you actually came on and hung out with us, you had somebody hitting on you. I remember that.
oh yeah, then there's that girl, and then so we had to block her from my chat because she wouldn't stop.
Oh, really? I didn't know she followed you over to your chat.
Oh no, her. No, okay, yeah, that's
It's a
no,
different person.
yeah, that's a different person. Yeah, that person, she's pretty cool. I think she subscribed to my channel.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. All in good fun, but there is that line that can be crossed sometimes.
Right.
So Sophie said, I might just have forgotten. I think you said it before, but age Dark Somnium. So how old are you? Are you willing to share?
Oh yeah, I'm 25.
Ah, you're younger than me. I thought you were my age. Damn it. I'm so
What? How
old.
old are you?
I'm 28. I'm about to turn
Oh,
29 here in like
I
2 weeks.
thought you were like 19.
Yeah, people usually think I'm early 20s. Nope, I'm
Psh,
old, but I look younger than my age, so I guess it's a plus.
nice. Yeah,
Sir,
being a robot and all.
yeah, exactly. Sir King Narration said, Dark Somnium, do you have a favorite piece of music that you've created? That's a very good question.
Yes, actually. But it's not one that's available to listen to. It's the one that I made for my grandma when she passed away.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, so yeah, was thinking about releasing it, but then I was like, no, that one's a personal one.
it's too
So
personal. I
yeah,
understand.
I
Okay.
will say my second favorite one though is the Coming Storm. Because another reason that I started writing music was because I have a problem sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have really bad nightmares when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
so I try to figure out ways to avoid having bad dreams, and so I found out one of the ways is to listen to things. So I started listening to music when I slept, but the problem is uh, it would always wake me up because I would my favorite band is Coheed and Cambria, and so I'd
Ooh.
always listen to them, but they're kind of like a prog rock band. So like every
Mm-hmm.
single time like they come out with a solo, I'd wake up or something. But so then when I started writing music, I would make ambient songs to listen to, and
Uh-huh.
the Coming Storm is very similar to the songs I used to write to help myself go to sleep. It's very ambient. It's like 8 minutes of like it's like a thunderstorm in the background and then piano
Ooh,
on top of it. So
gotcha. What are your plans for when you hit 100K?
when I hit 100K,
Yep.
um, honestly, I never actually well when I first started the channel, I think I thought about it for like 2 days, but then I was like, no, uh, I'm always going to try to do my best in my for like the people that watch my videos. I'm never going to hold anything back, and so I can't think of anything I would do in celebration because anything I could do, I'm probably gonna do way but when like well before I get there. It's like some people are like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, if I get to 100K, I'll release a 3 hour long narration. If I can record a 3 hour long narration, I'll do that way before then, just for the people that are already subscribed. So I can't
Yeah.
really think of anything in particular I would do. So honestly, probably nothing other than make an awkward video. I'm really good at making awkward videos. Like I made one for 1,000, 2,000, and then 3,000, like the subscriber celebration. They're just really weird videos of usually me making weird faces. When I get 4,000 subscribers, though, oh man, it's going to be so awkward. You just don't even know. I'm going to sit there with like mayonnaise on my face or something. It's going to be great,
Awesome.
right?
Dr. Blue wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Um, Probably the alleyway behind Burger King. But no, I'm joking. Assuming I'm not homeless at the time, probably still making videos, or if YouTube goes like and I don't think YouTube is gonna like fail or something. But if YouTube becomes not a very viable source, like a media outlet anymore, than just making podcasts. That's one of the reasons why I'm starting the Dark Radio podcast, is so I can branch out into like iTunes and stuff. Because
Gotcha.
I have my music on iTunes and Spotify, but I don't have my stories. And so the Dark Radio podcast is going to be a way that I can uh, release content on iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that.
Gotcha. No, it's definitely a good thing to branch out of YouTube. And Polian wants to know what your favorite horror movie is.
The original version of Stephen King's It.
Okay. Yeah, that is a good one. I like the original.
Yeah, the second one is so good. Or the remake is so good. Oh my god, it,
Mm.
it rivals which one's my favorite. But this original version of Stephen King's It is what started my um like my love of horror essentially, but not for the right reasons. The It scared the shit out of me. Like I was afraid. I was so scared to go anywhere for like 6 months after that,
Oh
after
my
watching it, because I
goodness.
watched it when I was 5, and so I was just terrified of anything, and and that kind of actually developed a fear of the dark, and
Hmm.
then I broke my fear of the dark by making myself sit in dark rooms for a period of time, and if I could just stay in the dark for a certain amount of time, then I wouldn't be afraid of it anymore because
Hmm.
I beat it, and I also started watching scary movies to help to like break my fear of scary movies, because kind of like desensitizing. And
Yeah.
then the more I watched them, the more I was like, hey, this is actually awesome. I love these. And then it actually developed into a love of horror. So
Awesome. Very awesome. Immunity Zero wants to know, would you be interested in composing an album slash score for a movie? And I know you and I have had this conversation before, but
yes, that's actually my dream, is to become a
yeah.
film composer. I want to so bad. You don't even know. Ugh. Like if Hans Zimmer, if I met Hans Zimmer,
Yeah.
I'd probably explode.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. That was, I think, one of our first conversations. Let's see. I think that's it for the questions. Yep, it looks like that's it for the question. So let's look at some of the comments. Scooby, Scooby Sea-Doo, Scoo, Scooby Sea-Doo. I don't know what I'm saying. Said, welcome big time. I sleep to all your voices. Addicted. LOL. Keep kicking ass. Just saying things. Gotta watch Z Nation. And let's see. Creepy blonde girl. Aw, I missed her. Thank you for stopping by if you're watching this later. Let's see. DJ Skeleton said, good to see people using custom music since most creepypasta vids are just using the same creepy piano.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I started mine. Uh, what with obviously not out of a desire to be different, but more so out of a, oh, you're gonna reject me? Well, fine, I'll make my own channel. It's kind of like that. You seen that episode of Futurama where Bender's like, I'll make my own strip club with or
Yeah.
something with blackjack and hookers. It was kind of like that reaction. I was like, I'll make
Yeah.
my own YouTube channel
Let's
with
get you
blackjack
guys.
and yeah, and hookers.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and Polian, thank you so much for the donation. He said, "Hey, Margbot, hope you're having an amazing weekend." Oh, yeah. Sending you positive vibes. Hashtag be hot like Margbot.
Ooh, that
Definitely.
kind I like that. That rhymes.
Don't.
That should be your channel slogan.
Please don't. I
Hot
really
like the
don't.
bot.
I gotta be honest. Like, I really don't care for that hashtag.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know it's cool. Let's see. What else? What do you use to create your music, and do you have any advice, DJ Skeleton?
Oh, sure. Well, actually, I was thinking about making some tutorial videos on doing what I do for anyone that is interested, but I haven't really figured out how I'd approach that yet because I've never made a video like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I write my music by first I'll come up with melodies on my guitar because normally I'll just be like I'll think of random melodies all day long, and so what I'll do is I'll come up like play the melody on my guitar. Then if I like it, I'll just whatever the notes are, I'll put it into my computer, and I use FL Studio and Ableton Live, but mostly FL Studio. And
Gotcha.
the reason I use that is because when I first started writing music, I didn't have a MIDI keyboard, or I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
how to hook one up. So FL Studio was the only one that would let me uh, use my actual keyboard to write music. So,
Oh, gotcha.
but
I
as
see.
far as advice, I don't know. People have asked me advice about writing music, but it's kind of hard because I don't do like all I do with music is like writing music to me that's just trying to take these already already made songs that are in my head and make them real. So it's never really hard for me to come up with melodies because I always have melodies that I'm thinking about. Like I have a bunch of melodies I'm thinking about right now, and then when I decide to write music, it's like, all right, let's take one of these and make it real. And that's like my process of writing music. And so I don't really know how to give people advice because like it's pretty simple, at least like the way I do it or the way I think of it. But yeah.
Gotcha. Corrupted Playground said, "Do you have a favorite music video of all time?"
Yes. Well, any of the music videos by Coheed and Cambria, but no, it's well, actually probably what is it? Yeah, Domino the Destitute by Coheed and Cambria is my favorite one, I'd say.
Okay. Corrupted Playground said, "I have a music background too. Did narration seem like an easy transition for you?"
Um, in easy in the sense that the music that I was making meshed with the video. Um, other than that, the only thing that was difficult, I'd say, was the fact that I have a problem. I have a hard time reading because of my ADHD. I'll be reading a sentence and then like one word in that sentence will distract me, and I'll be like, oh, green's my was my best friend Colin's favorite color. Then I'll start thinking about how I met my friend Colin when I was a kid and stuff, and then I'll just sit there silently for like 10 minutes, not reading, just thinking about this weird tangent, and then I'm like, wait, what's happening? Oh, I was reading this book. What happened in this book? And so
Gotcha.
the only difficult problem or difficult thing I had to overcome was uh, maintaining my focus on the story.
I see. Tall Tale said, "Okay, he likes Futurama. Definitely subbing now."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's about, guys. Me exposing
yeah,
you to new folk
yeah,
and
boy. Right.
getting to know them better if you already know them. So, but yeah, so I guess that concludes the interview portion of this. Thank you so much, Dark Somnium, for allowing me to interview you. I know this has been quite a while in the making. It's just things have been a little bit chaotic, I think, for both of us. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that you shared a little bit about yourself and your creation process with us.
Thank you. Now, thank you for having me on. It's an honor.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, guys. So some announcements. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I always say that. God, I need to stop saying I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. But if you're on Twitter with me, you may have been noticing. Well, at the beginning of the month, let me explain something. I had the birthday bot name change, and I had to change it because I realized it was misleading people. But the reason I changed it to birthday bot wasn't because that day was my birthday. It was because it's my birthday month. So I guess I should have put birth month bot, but then that would have been weird. So then I just decided to change it because everybody kept coming up to me saying happy birthday. And I kind of was like, okay, I keep explaining to everybody the same thing. So maybe I'm the one with the problem and not everybody else. So I decided to take that down. But that whole birthday bot thing was actually part of something bigger that I'm doing, which every day I am posting every day for the rest of the month. I was going to do it until my birthday, and my birthday is actually on the 27th, but I figured it's so close to the end of the month that I'm just going to do it for the entire month, where I share a video with you guys that some awesome narrator, one of my friends, decided to include me in, just so I can expose you guys to their channel in case you haven't checked it out yet. And that's where the Margbot celebration comes from, because it feeds my it feeds my narcissism, and it helps my good buddies out, so that you guys can check out their channels. So that's why I keep posting day so and so hashtag Margbot celebration. Here's a video with me in it. Yeah, because as you all know, I'm a little narcissistic. But yeah, please check out those videos that I'm posting, and please check out those channels. I, not to sound like I'm full of myself or anything, but I do feel like, my friends have some amazing work and some amazing channels, and I usually only work with the best. Just kidding. But no, I do feel like they all have very good quality channels. So please check them out when you see me post them. I believe Mr. Dark Somnium here is one of the ones I've already posted. And I've definitely been working with him quite a bit lately. He's been putting out some amazing series. Like, I mean, the stories are just so good, guys. So definitely check out his channel and check out all the other channels that I'm promoting. As for the costume contest, I know I said I'd have an answer today. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you guys because I haven't had the time to just sit down, write out all the names that submitted a picture, and then just draw it from a bowl. Because I said that I wasn't going to do it as a popularity contest. I was just going to do it randomly. So I haven't had the chance to do that. There's quite a bit going on in my life right now, personally. But hopefully, things are going to settle down come next week. Hopefully. Pray for me. But yeah, so that's why I don't have an answer to that. I am next week. We actually have the lovely Sir Kane narrations because I finally just bugged the hell out of her, and she granted me an interview. But yeah, so we have the lovely Sir Kane next week. And after that, we're going to take a break the following Friday because it is Thanksgiving here in the States. Now, I don't think you guys want to spend a Friday night with me right after you just gorged yourselves on food. So I'm just going to take a break then. That following Monday is actually my birthday, so maybe I will stream for my birthday. But definitely December 1st, I will be back with another interview after that. And if all goes well, it should be Mr. Black Pasta. So those are my channel announcements. I do have a video recorded. I just need to sit down and finish up the video. And the amazing Dark Somnium here with his magical audio skills is actually putting together the next episode of Hail for me because I got frustrated and I felt like I wasn't going to do it justice. So I sent him the recordings and he's just going to piece it together for me because he's awesome. Right, Dark Somnium?
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna do that later today.
It sounds really low, so I don't know what you're saying.
Oh,
You have to
sorry.
turn
Can you
up.
understand me now? Is this
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you in a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries there, Ben. So look out for those two videos here in the next few days. Oh my gosh, Napoleon. Thank you. Mark, but I shall donate 100 on your birthday. That is very sweet of you, but you don't have to do that. You really
Damn,
don't.
that's a lot of money. Cash money swag. Wee.
Cash money swag. Yes, Sir Kate, I'm definitely looking forward to interviewing you as well next week. It should be a good one. Getting to know a smaller channel and promoting them is always fun for me. So yeah. Dr. Blue said, well, you guys, sorry, I have to go. Have an awesome weekend, Markbot. Thank you for being so awesome and letting me be a bot. LOL. Have a wonderful night, Dark Somnium. Thank you so much, Dr. Blue. Thank you for stopping by. We're actually going to hop out of here like soonish. Tall Tale
Real quick.
said, huh?
Real quick, is it okay if I reply to Sophie?
No, go ahead, please.
So, all right. So the main difference, there's ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, and ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. The main difference is the amount of serotonin in the brain that is released. Both of them have cause a disorder that makes it so your brain releases random ass chemicals at just randomly. So it makes it so that my reaction to you coming up and saying, "Hey, I stabbed your cat," might might be different than like someone without ADHD, because upon hearing that news, your brain would react a certain way and release a certain chemical. When you have ADD or ADHD, your brain might not release the right amount of that chemical, so you might not care for a moment, or like at least you have a problem or you have a problem dealing with emotions, um, and processing emotions because your brain doesn't have the isn't good at releasing chemicals, essentially. The hyperactive disorder is where your brain releases a shit ton of the chemical serotonin, which is one of the chemicals that gets released when you drink coffee, which is why people that have ADHD seem like they're always like high on caffeine or something. Which, fun
Yeah.
thing about that, because of that, drinking caffeine actually has no effect on me, or people with ADHD, from what I understand, because since the brain already releases too much serotonin, caffeine doesn't do anything.
Gotcha. Huh. I didn't know that. But I mean, if you're already at 10, it's very difficult for anything to take you higher.
Right. Which I'm drinking coffee right now because I can.
Oh, DJ Skeleton said, Marg, you never answered my question. Do you want to be buried? Do I want to
What?
be buried?
That's terrifying. He's like
um,
he's outside your window with a shovel.
yeah, I'm wondering, like, is this like, am I gonna eventually turn up missing and you guys will find out if I was buried or not?
It's like, yeah, what
Uh,
color? What color would you like the inside of your coffin to be?
yeah, seriously. That's a little bit of a weird question, DJ Skeleton. When I die, if you're speaking of when I die, do I want to be buried? I guess so. I mean, if my body or if my brain can't be, stored away cryogenically,
Not me.
so it could be put into an actual robot, then I guess I want to be buried. But if, they can cryo freeze me and then like rewind me to when I was like, I don't know, 20, then yeah.
Not me. See, the problem with that is I have a crippling fear of being buried alive. Like it got so bad that my doctor had to put me on anxiety medication because I was too afraid to go to sleep, because I was afraid if I went to sleep, people would think I was dead. Someone would think I was dead, and they would bury me, and I'd wake up in a
Oh,
coffin. So for like
wow.
a year straight, I had a really hard time sleeping because I was legitimately scared of that. So my
Oh,
doctor put me
that's
on like
scary.
anti-anxiety medication. But when I die, I want to be stuffed and put into a Ronnie museum where people can come in and see my various things that I've made, and then like hook me up to like an animatronic system where when people pass by, I just spout out catchphrases like Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker. Come by and get manhandled by a fish with man hands and stuff like that.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a good catchphrase. Thank you so much, Empoleon. He said, hashtag bot like Margbot, your content is always phenomenal. Keep up the amazing work. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Let's see. Did I miss something else? I don't know that I want to be cremated. I think if I were to be cremated, I'd want to be turned into a diamond for like one of my kids if I ever have kids to wear, because I'm a weirdo like that.
See, that's the thing. Like, what if they're like, ah, shit, I lost mom. Where's mom? Where's and then like,
Oh man, that would suck. Oh gosh. The mall. Peach said just got home work and the mall. Okay, guys, I think I am gonna wrap this up. I actually have to go help a friend pack, and I have some major life changes happening this weekend, so wish me luck. And oh, Viking funeral. You know what? I take it back. Sorry. Time out.
what?
Tall
What?
tale. Okay, so I don't know. I think it was the second Thor movie. Okay, where his mom dies. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
That's some hard spoilers. Thanks. No, I'm just joking.
Okay. Well, too bad it's been out for like 5 years or something. Okay, maybe like two. But anyway, there's a scene where his mom dies where they put her body into like this ship, and I think there's like fireworks going off everywhere or something, and they just kind of like incinerate like as the fireworks are going. It's just really legitimate. Okay. It's an
See, it's a
amazing like funeral. I want a funeral like that. That's what I want to happen to me. Thank you so much, Tall Tale, for understanding the way I think and reminding me of what I really want. Oh man. Okay. All right. Now really I am done this time, guys. So have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. And yeah, hold on. Sophie said, Margbot, you can get your cremate stuff in like a tree so you can grow on to a tree when you're dead. It's awesome. I still want to do that. I thought about the tree thing. I don't know how I'd feel about it. But anyway, au revoir, everyone, like April said. And thank you, everyone, for stopping by. And the holidays are upon us, everyone. It's time to shop. So, Margbot out.